Oh boy, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but well, it tends to be more bad than good these days. But anyway, I'm not surprised that much. It's sad and all that, but and I gotta give a shout out to Nerdrotic. He reported on this on his channel, and check out Nerdrotic and his website nerdrotic.com. And but this story now that yes, Swamp Thing shuts down DC Universe app in doubt. Well, I got to admit I had doubts about it to begin with. They started off with one show, and that being Titans, which had a lot of problems. And listening to Nerdrotic, he's more negative on it than I was, even though his points are true. I guess, and to be fair, when I was going into it, I didn't have very high expectations for it. But I found things in it that really intrigued me, and I saw potential for the show, but I don't think it ever realized itself. And there were things, there's other problems like he's discussing, and he's a father and I'm not, but it's the problem of you've got all this kid material on the site alongside something like Titans and then Doom Patrol, which actually had full on sex in it. And then the violence of Robin. It's not that I have a problem with a violent Robin story. It's just, but when you're leaving that wide open to kids and everything, you should have thought that through. But the overall problem of the streaming service was that they didn't have enough shows ready to go, and they should have been already in the hopper to offer this, rather than just, hey, look, there's all this old stuff that you probably already have. I mean, and overall, I kept coming back to the point that could I recommend subscribing to it as I did? No, there's not enough there for people to just come into. If you're a hardcore DC fan, I would recommend it, to see this show and then Doom Patrol and all that. But even then, it's like, well, the other stuff is just a bunch of stuff you already have. So, and I mean, some of the latest animated movies, they put them out on Blu-ray, and then after a while, I don't know, like a month later or whatever, it'll show up on the service. At least I think that's how it's been happening. And so, yeah, that's a nifty thing, but does it justify subscribing to yet another service? No, it does not. So that was a huge hurdle for them to overcome. And so I just don't think this was handled very well, and probably was doomed from the start. Anyway, it was a ginormous uphill battle, because the clear titans of the streaming wars is Netflix and Amazon, with Hulu having always been a distant third. And that one should just be, Disney should just merge that all into one service rather than this D plus business. Because at the outset, I thought, well, maybe Disney, with their money, has the potential to really be a serious challenge to Netflix and Amazon. But after they've damaged their brands, I mean, Star Wars, they sunk that. And then they seem to be determined to bring down Marvel. So, yeah, I think they're going to have to consolidate everything in now. So anyway, DC Universe, and I'm sorry, Stargirl. I know they cast you, but it's probably not happening. I mean, maybe they'll move it to CW, or, well, let's read the article. The WB is going to do its own streaming service as well, but I don't know if that can survive either. But anyway, it's being reported that Warner Brothers has shut down production on the Swamp Thing series, and that the future of the DC Universe streaming service is in doubt. North Carolina's Star News Online, so this is the initial source, some local news, reports Warner Brothers has shut down filming on the James Wan-produced Swamp Thing earlier than expected, as WB evaluates the futures of the DC Universe streaming service. Yeah, at best, it's going to be merged in to the overall WB. The article notes that actress Virginia Madsen, who plays Maria Sunderland in the series, confirmed the news in a deleted Instagram post. Oh, Virginia, you know that's bad. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of glad you let us know, but yeah, they don't like that type of stuff. But anyway, she says, I'm beyond sad. What a terrible decision. We have been cut to the core by those who have never set foot into the swamp. I know, but they count those beans, Virginia, and they realize, holy crap. Somebody's got to pay for all this. So, and despite the rule, I am going to use the hashtag Swamp Thing. Yeah. And then somebody said, hey, and so it was deleted, but the internet is forever. So, of course, it was captured And I guess this is like a mock-up of what Swamp Thing would have appeared, unless this is some toy she got out of a gum machine or something. But it's the basic look anyway. Likewise, local crew members are stated to have been notified as of Tuesday night that Swamp Thing will wrap production on episode 10 instead of going the full 13 episodes, with the writers and producers rewriting the ending. Well, at least they're giving it an ending, but usually when you have to do the quick rewrite of an ending to a series, it's never quite that good. However, that being said, I think 10 episodes was probably what they originally should have gone for. That's another problem with Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol is right now is much better than Titans, which is odd because they introduced them in Titans, and I didn't think that was all that great. But the series in and of itself has had some pretty fantastic episodes, and then they got bogged down in filler episodes, and of course using woke messages to shield it. The problem with filler episodes, and especially this is true with Doom Patrol, is that they ended up going over material they've already dealt with, and actually resolved to some extent, and just using it again as fillers. Oh, we got these 13 episodes of it. Well, then just don't do 13 episodes. Cut out the ones you don't need. And then using, trainers' homosexuality and trans community and stuff like that as a shield to where you can't criticize this episode because that's what it's really about. And no, you're just taking up time and stuff that's already been dealt with and repeating it for what? You might as well just rerun the show again, and so it's just dragging it out to get to the finish line of 13 episodes. And that's not good. Not good at all. No. And so they did that, which compounds the problem they're in right out of the gate, of course. But anyway, interestingly enough, the news follows Disney recently announcing their plans for their own streaming service. Yes, D+. Well, The Mandalorian looks really cool. And if it's good as it looks, that might actually be a huge step forward in reviving Star Wars. But anyway, it could be possible that Warner Brothers is rethinking the DCUniverse streaming service, and that may make it a part of their upcoming WB AT&T streaming service, which makes sense. Yeah, it's probably what they initially should have done, to have a more solidified brand to go up against this, and still I don't think it's going to succeed. But it's not Disney's coming on with this, what had to have known to begin with, but it's on top of the fact that the subscriptions just aren't enough. I mean, that's the only thing. If this was a blowout, and they just came in, they wouldn't be shutting down Swamp Thing. In addition, the DCUniverse app is only available in the U.S., which immensely limits. Yeah, jeez. Yeah, that's pretty bad. And then that brings into the point is like, wouldn't you be better just licensing these shows? Because they would make some money. If WB wants to compete with Disney, which sports Star Wars and Marvel, well, Star Wars, Marvel, yes, right now Marvel's still strong until they even with all the crap about Captain Marvel, it's still not a Last Jedi. A Last Jedi is the boy. Once you do one of those, because the radiation left after that bomb is still dangerous. And so anyway, yeah. So he continues on basically that they should consolidate it, which they should have done in the first place, and include HBO and all that. That would be a more formidable package deal to send forth. So. There you go. Another possibility is that the DCUniverse streaming network is shut down, and the shows like Titan, Patrol, and Swamp Thing could find homes in already existing network. Yeah, they could probably license those out, as they probably should have in the first place. They would have to re-edit Titans and Doom Patrol to put it on CW. You can't have Cliff Steele bending his maid over a table like that. You can just say it happened, but you can't show it. No, you can't. And Swamp Thing sounded really cool, and that's the one I was really looking forward to. And now, Yeah, it's kind of over before it began. But so there you go. It's not all that surprising. These streaming wars are going to be very brutal. And like Nerdrotic said, yeah, it was over before it began. I don't think any of these efforts could even come close to stepping on Netflix and Amazon's territory. And at best, you could get that niche audience, but is that enough to support the costs and production for the shows that can't go much further than what they've had? Even with what they've had, it's obvious that Doom Patrol doesn't have that much of a budget because they're constantly having to do just within that mansion stories and stuff like that. But they did it well for what they had, going forward. And they probably put too much production into the filler episodes. I mean, and so it could have saved some money there. But again, I think these series need to be cut down to, at a minimum, 10. In some cases, you might want to go for 8. And that might have helped. But yeah, I think this is done. And it's unfortunate because, again, there was potential, certainly for Doom Patrol. And I still think there was potential for Teen Titans. But it was the weaker of the two. And Stargirl, she looks like Stargirl in the suit and everything, but yeah, I don't think we're going to see that one. Yeah, maybe, I mean, if they do, maybe that'll end up on the CW or something like that, because some of those shows are getting the axe, so and long overdue. The only good one is The Flash, so all right, so there you go. Hopefully these shows can find a home elsewhere. They'll probably have to redo them and all that. But other than that, yeah, over before it began. Thank you for watching and listening. Please like and subscribe. If you didn't like it, thanks for watching anyway. And if you've already subscribed, thank you very much. That does warm my heart. And while you're here, check out that link description below. That'll take you to my many stores that have plenty of goodies for you.